Urologist. Men don't know this. Life-changing advice from an older woman. Dr. Jocelyn. Hello, my friends. I am Dr. Jocelyn, a urologist and dedicated men's health specialist with 5 years of extensive clinical experience, during which I have had the privilege of guiding countless individuals towards a better understanding of their bodies and relationships. Today, I am poised to share with you a profound revelation, a collection of insights that, regrettably, most men may never encounter throughout their entire lives. This isn't merely another health discussion. It is the genesis of a pivotal conversation, one that might indeed cause a slight flush to your cheeks due to its intimate nature. Yet, I pledge with absolute certainty that the perspectives you gain here will fundamentally reshape the way you perceive intimacy, the very bedrock of your confidence, and indeed, your overall health as a man navigating the complexities of modern life. Before we embark upon this transformative journey, I humbly request a small favor. Please take a moment to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel to join our growing community, and in the comments section below, share your location. I am perpetually inspired by the sheer geographical reach of this community, spanning from the bustling metropolis to the tranquil quietude of a retirement haven, and every conceivable place in between. Knowing where you are enriches our shared experience, underscoring the universal relevance of these crucial topics. Now, let us delve into the heart of the matter. Herein lies a profound truth, consistently overlooked and rarely articulated to older men in particular. Intimacy, in its truest, deepest sense, does not succumb to the dictates of retirement. Passion, that vibrant, essential spark of human connection, is not bound by an expiration date stamped upon a calendar. Despite this undeniable reality, I observe with increasing frequency far too many men prematurely relinquishing this vital aspect of their lives, harboring the misguided belief that they have somehow become too old for profound emotional and physical connection. Even more tragically, some internalize the devastating notion that their own bodies are betraying them, succumbing to an irreversible decline. However, today, we are here to thoroughly dismantle this pervasive myth. The challenges and difficulties encountered in the bedroom are not, as commonly assumed, solely attributable to the inexorable march of age. More often than not, these issues are intricately linked to a series of subtle, yet entirely manageable habits and deeply ingrained thought patterns, fundamental aspects that you possess the power to alter, starting immediately. In our time together, we will meticulously explore one of these very topics, one that men privately consult me about with remarkable consistency. Intimacy practices that have long been cloaked in an aura of taboo, shrouded in embarrassment, but which, when embraced with understanding and courage, paradoxically unlock the very doors to unparalleled trust, heightened pleasure, and demonstrably improved performance in all facets of your intimate life. My dedicated 5 years as a urologist have been spent assisting men just like you, men in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and indeed far beyond, to not only reclaim but revitalize their confidence in their health and, most importantly, in their intimate relationships. I can attest with unwavering conviction the scientific consensus is crystal clear. When men are empowered with a comprehensive understanding of the intricate workings of the human body, encompassing its complex biology, the profound interplay of emotions, and the day-to-day realities of their physical and mental states, they are invariably equipped to make superior, more informed choices. This enlightened perspective enables them to profoundly reconnect with their partners, to rediscover a sense of freedom and joyous intimacy that many had mistakenly believed was forever lost to them. Therefore, my objective today is to meticulously distill all of this critical information into clear, actionable, and eminently practical advice that you can integrate into your life without delay. Let us navigate together through 5 pivotal truths and common pitfalls that men often encounter concerning intimacy, the very fluids involved, and the essential nature of connection. Each truth, each insight is meticulously designed to build upon the last, forming a cohesive framework of understanding. I urge you to remain with me through every point, as the revelation concerning habit mistake number 1 promises to be the most surprising and impactful of all. Let us begin with habit mistake number 5, thinking vaginal fluids are dirty. This deeply ingrained misconception often serves as the insidious root of an immense amount of unnecessary embarrassment and discomfort, not just for women, but for men who internalize this flawed perception. It is imperative that we cultivate a fundamental understanding. Vaginal fluids are categorically not some random, undesirable byproduct or mere accidental moisture. On the contrary, they represent a veritable masterpiece of the human body's design, a profoundly elegant biological system meticulously refined and perfected over countless millions of years of evolutionary adaptation. These astonishing fluids are the collective product of 3 primary anatomical sources, each contributing in perfect, exquisite harmony to create a dynamic and protective internal environment. Firstly, the Bartholin's glands, subtly nestled near the delicate vaginal opening, are responsible for secreting a remarkably silky fluid. This particular secretion is specifically engineered with a precise purpose: to significantly reduce friction, thereby ensuring that intimacy is not only comfortable, but genuinely pleasurable. Its immediate action prepares the delicate tissues, creating a smooth pathway for connection. Secondly, the Skene's glands, sometimes colloquially referred to as the female prostate, due to certain physiological parallels, play a crucial role by adding further layers of lubrication. These glands are highly responsive, actively secreting more fluid in direct response to increasing arousal and tactile stimulation, thereby deepening the sensations of excitement and enhancing the overall experience. Thirdly, the cervix itself, a vital organ, consistently provides a protective mucus. This cervical mucus serves a multifaceted role. It physically protects and meticulously balances the entire vaginal environment, assiduously maintaining the ideal slightly acidic pH level. This precise pH balance is absolutely critical for warding off a wide array of potential infections, acting as a natural antimicrobial barrier. But what precisely are these fluids composed of at a molecular level? While primarily water, they are far from being simple H2O. They are a complex, biologically rich solution containing a wealth of essential components. These include amino acids, which are the fundamental building blocks of proteins, vital for cellular repair and maintenance within the delicate tissues. They also contain a diverse array of enzymes, which act as highly efficient biological catalysts, meticulously breaking down harmful bacteria and foreign invaders, thus performing an internal cleansing and protective function. Essential minerals such as calcium and zinc are present, supporting cellular function and immune responses. Crucially, lactic acid is a significant component, working diligently to maintain the aforementioned slightly acidic vaginal environment. This acidity is a frontline defense, a critical protective mechanism against a broad spectrum of bacterial and fungal infections. To reiterate with utmost clarity, these fluids are not waste products, nor are they dirty in any conceivable sense. They are, in essence, the body's own exquisitely designed natural pharmacy, a sophisticated biochemical defense system. Their purpose is profoundly protective, safeguarding delicate tissue, dramatically reducing the risk of infection, and ensuring that intimacy is not only safe and healthy, but supremely pleasurable for both partners involved. Now, consider the profound emotional ramifications when a man, either consciously or unconsciously, rejects or exhibits judgment towards these natural fluids. This act, often subtle, sows the seeds of deep, quiet shame within a woman. It is a shame that she may never articulate verbally, but one that she will unequivocally and profoundly feel in her innermost being. This nascent shame invariably leads her to question her own physical normalcy, to wonder if there is an inherent flaw within her body, if she is somehow defective or worse, unclean. This pervasive shame does not merely inflict psychological pain upon her, it inexorably erodes the very foundation of the relationship. On a practical level, this emotional damage translates into intimacy feeling fundamentally unsafe and vulnerable. She may instinctively begin to withdraw, become intensely self-conscious during intimate moments, or even entirely avoid physical closeness altogether. This retreat is not born of a diminishing desire for connection, but rather from an acute, protective instinct to shield herself from the perceived and deeply hurtful rejection. Therefore, the transformative shift I implore you to embrace today is this: cease viewing these miraculous fluids as gross, messy, or inconvenient. Instead, cultivate the profound understanding that they are the body's innate, natural signal that deep connection is not only possible, but unequivocally safe and desired. They are a green light, a vibrant affirmation that her body trusts you implicitly, that it is actively preparing for the sacred act of intimacy, and that arousal is vibrantly present. When you consciously and lovingly accept these fluids, you are, in the deepest sense, accepting her in her entirety. And that unwavering acceptance, my friends, is the indispensable cornerstone, the solid foundation upon which everything beautiful and profoundly connecting in your intimate life will be built. Moving on to habit mistake number 4, ignoring taste and smell. This is, without question, the most frequently posed private question I receive from men behind the closed doors of my clinic. Doctor, they begin, often with a slight hesitation, what about the taste or smell? I absolutely understand the vulnerability inherent in asking such a personal question, and I commend your courage in seeking honest truth. Allow me, therefore, to provide you with the unvarnished biological reality, the kind of candid answer you truly deserve. The truth is that vaginal fluids are inherently variable. Their precise characteristics, encompassing their scent, taste, and even their consistency, fluctuate significantly. They vary considerably from one woman to another, and even within the same woman, they can change from day to day, and indeed, even from morning to evening. This inherent variation, far from being an anomaly or a cause for concern, is in fact completely normal, healthy, and a vibrant indicator of a dynamic biological system. So, what are the primary influences that shape the taste and smell profile of these fluids? Diet unequivocally plays an absolutely massive and often underestimated role. For instance, the consumption of certain fruits, particularly pineapple and citrus varieties, combined with consistent and adequate hydration, often correlates with a fresher, lighter, and more subtly sweet or neutral taste. Conversely, the frequent intake of strong-smelling foods such as garlic and onions, excessive alcohol consumption, daily coffee habits, or heavily spiced cuisines can introduce a stronger, more pungent, or even a distinct edge to the profile of the fluids. Hormonal fluctuations are another critical factor, continuously shifting the chemical profile throughout a woman's menstrual cycle. Around the time of ovulation, for example, fluids typically tend to be more neutral, clearer, and milder in scent and taste, reflecting a peak in fertility. As menstruation approaches, there may be a faint, often subtle metallic note, a perfectly natural occurrence due to the trace amounts of blood present. Post-menopause, as estrogen levels naturally decline, fluids may become less abundant, and the vaginal environment might become slightly more acidic, influencing the overall profile. Beyond these, stress, certain medications, including antibiotics or hormonal contraceptives, and even a woman's precise position within her monthly cycle all exert an influence on the intricate chemistry of these secretions. Here's what truly matters from an emotional and relational perspective. Variation is the norm. Consider this analogy. No two men will smell precisely the same after an intense workout, and in the same vein, no two women will present with identical taste taste or smell profiles. And just as you would understandably not wish for your partner to recoil from your natural scent, a scent that is inherently a part of you, she harbors the same expectation. She does not want to feel judged or criticized for hers. Acceptance in this context does not necessitate a pretense of not noticing. It signifies a profound understanding that what you perceive is entirely natural, fundamentally human, and absolutely nothing to be ashamed of or embarrassed by. Now, on a practical note, it is important to distinguish between normal, healthy variation and potential medical concerns. If there is a sudden, noticeable, and genuinely unpleasant change in smell or taste, particularly if it is accompanied by discomfort, persistent itching, an unusual or significantly altered discharge, or a distinct fishy odor, these are typically indicators of a common and very treatable microbial imbalance. Conditions such as bacterial vaginosis, BV, a yeast infection, or trichomoniasis are not, let me be absolutely clear, moral failings or indicators of poor hygiene. They are legitimate medical conditions, and thankfully, they are typically easily and effectively treated with a simple visit to a healthcare professional. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a deal breaker in a relationship. Rather, it represents an invaluable opportunity for deep care, unwavering support, and genuine partnership. The true mistake, the one that undermines connection, is transforming normal, healthy biological variation into a source of criticism or judgment. Gentlemen, let me impress upon you this fundamental truth. Acceptance is a far more potent and profound aphrodisiac than judgment could ever be. When a woman feels unconditionally accepted for her natural self, she relaxes completely, shedding layers of self-consciousness, and when she is truly relaxed, free from the burden of judgment, the depths of intimacy can be explored and savored in ways previously unimagined. This brings us to habit mistake number 3, overlooking safety. This frequently leads to a direct and crucial question: is it biologically safe to swallow vaginal fluids? The straightforward answer for healthy individuals in a mutually trusting relationship is an unequivocal yes. As we've established, these fluids are predominantly water, alongside beneficial enzymes and protective compounds. In a biological context, they often present a significantly lower risk profile than many everyday interactions we engage in without a second thought, such as casual kissing or sharing drinks with friends. However, a crucial caution must be heeded, and I urge you to absorb this information with utmost clarity and seriousness. Like other bodily fluids, vaginal fluids possess the capacity to carry sexually transmitted infections, STIs. Conditions such as chlamydia, gonorrhea, herpes, syphilis, trichomoniasis, and HIV can indeed be transmitted through contact with these fluids. The risk of transmission is demonstrably higher if one partner has an active, untreated infection. Furthermore, the risk is compounded, becoming even greater if the receiving partner has any open sores in their mouth, bleeding gums, or ulcers, as these provide direct entry points for pathogens into the bloodstream or mucosal tissues. Biologically speaking, this inherent risk exists. That is not fear-mongering, but an unadulterated medical fact. Yet, emotionally, the most potent safeguard against this biological risk is complete and unyielding honesty. When both partners are fully aware of their individual STI status and are committed to sharing that sensitive information openly and transparently with one another, the fear that often accompanies such intimate acts largely dissolves. You are then able to transition from a state of anxious worry to one of confident assurance, grounded in mutual knowledge and trust. Practically speaking, the solution to mitigating this risk is remarkably simple and empowering. First and foremost, know your status. Make it a routine practice to get tested together with your partner. Frame this not as an accusation or an act of suspicion, but as an integral, loving component of your shared healthcare journey. It should not be a one-time event prompted by burgeoning doubts, but rather a regular, proactive measure. For sexually active adults, a healthy standard typically involves getting tested at least twice a year. Secondly, learn to utilize barriers effectively when necessary, particularly in the context of new relationships where status might be unknown, or if either partner's health status is currently uncertain. This might include the use of dental dams for oral vaginal contact. The profound mistake here is to operate under the erroneous assumption that a lack of visible symptoms automatically equates to a complete absence of risk. Many STIs, often the most prevalent ones, are insidious precisely because they are silent. They can be carried and transmitted without manifesting any obvious signs or symptoms. True intimacy, the kind that endures and deepens, is inextricably linked to trust and complete transparency. Safety, far from being an inhibitor of romance, is its most powerful architect. Safety constructs the unshakable edifice of trust, and it is this profound trust that ultimately allows passion to burn brightly, consistently, and without reservation for decades. This brings us to habit mistake number 2, staying silent out of embarrassment. I have witnessed countless couples tragically lose their profound connection, not due to the inevitability of illness, nor to the passage of time or the challenges of aging, but because of the insidious and corrosive power of silence. A subtle change in scent, a nagging question about safety, a burgeoning curiosity regarding the exploration of oral intimacy. When these natural concerns or curiosities are left unspoken, they do not simply dissipate. Instead, they fester and grow, transforming into deep-seated shame, simmering resentment, and an ever-widening emotional distance between partners. One partner begins to silently wonder, consumed by unspoken questions, while the other worries, burdened by unarticulated anxieties. Neither possesses the emotional vocabulary or the perceived permission to initiate the conversation without fear of causing hurt or misunderstanding. Biologically, the human body is a marvel of constant adaptation and change. This dynamic nature means that its expressions, including the characteristics of intimate fluids, are never static. After menopause, for example, significant hormonal shifts can lead to changes in vaginal lubrication and pH following an illness or surgery. The body's overall chemistry and function can be altered. Even seemingly minor lifestyle adjustments, such as a change in diet or the introduction of new medication, can subtly influence bodily secretions. These changes are not indicative of failure or a problem that needs fixing. They are simply manifestations of life itself, a testament to the body's continuous evolution. However, emotionally, when partners choose to conceal these concerns or changes from one another, the unspoken message received by the other partner is one of rejection, devoid of any clarifying explanation. She may acutely observe you, subtly pulling away or hesitating, but without an open dialogue, she remains utterly unaware of the underlying reason. He might perceive a growing distance, but is unable to articulate what feels wrong or how to bridge the divide. In this emotional vacuum, the gap between you both widens, slowly, silently, and dangerously. Practically speaking, this pervasive silence has tangible and detrimental consequences. Minor issues left unaddressed can escalate into significant problems. A simple, easily treatable infection might linger, evolving into chronic discomfort or a persistent source of irritation. A legitimate question about intimate safety, when suppressed, metastasizes into unspoken anxiety that permeates every aspect of the relationship. Consequently, intimacy itself becomes fraught with awkwardness, hesitation, and a tangible sense of unease. Partners begin to withdraw, not because their love for one another has diminished, but because they have tragically ceased to genuinely communicate, to truly talk to one another about the things that matter most. The profound mistake, therefore, is silence itself. The transformative solution is open, honest communication imbued with a spirit of kindness, genuine curiosity, and profound respect. You are not expected to possess all the answers, nor to present a ready-made solution. Your primary task and your most courageous act is simply to initiate the conversation. Consider trying these gentle yet powerful approaches. I've noticed something feels a little different recently, and I want to make sure you're feeling completely okay. Would you be open to talking about it with me? This frames the inquiry around her well-being not as a criticism, or you might say, I have a question that I'm a little embarrassed to ask, but I trust you absolutely with anything. Could we try to figure this out together? This approach demonstrates your own vulnerability and invites shared problem solving. Another option could be, I've been learning a lot about intimate health lately, and it made me curious about our own experiences and what might be natural. Would you be willing to explore that with me? This external reference can make the topic less confrontational. That kind of profound openness and mutual exploration does not, contrary to popular belief, weaken intimacy. It strengthens it in ways that endure beyond temporary challenges. Finally, we arrive at habit mistake number 1, forgetting the emotional power of acceptance. This, my dearest friends, is unequivocally the most potent and life-altering lesson I can impart to you today. When a man consciously and wholly embraces his partner, fully, completely, without reservation, encompassing every facet of her being, including her natural fluids, her unique scent, and her authentic, unvarnished self, he communicates something far more profound than mere words could convey. He transmits an unspoken, yet thunderous declaration: I accept you completely. I trust you implicitly. I love every single part of you. This isn't conditional acceptance, limited only to the convenient aspects or the socially polished and idealized versions of her. This is an all-encompassing, radical affirmation of all of her. Biologically, this profound acceptance triggers an extraordinary cascade of physiological responses within a woman. When she feels truly accepted, genuinely seen, and unequivocally safe, her body begins to relax at a fundamental cellular level. This relaxation is not merely psychological, it is a deep physiological shift from the sympathetic nervous system's fight or flight mode to the parasympathetic nervous system's rest and connect state. And when she relaxes, her entire body responds in harmonious concert. Arousal deepens organically, becoming more profound and sustained. Natural lubrication increases effortlessly, a biological testament to her comfort and pleasure. Blood flow to the genital area surges, enhancing sensitivity and engorgement, making the physical sensations richer and more intense. The entire intimate experience transcends mere physical mechanics, becoming immeasurably richer, intensely more pleasurable, and profoundly, soulfully connected. Emotionally, this act of unwavering acceptance possesses the transformative power to heal years, even decades, of quiet shame that countless women have carried silently within their bodies. This shame is often instilled by inadequate and misinformed sex education, by media portrayals that frequently cast female bodies as problems to be managed or solved, or by past partners who, perhaps inadvertently, recoiled or made offhand, insensitive comments that cut far deeper and inflicted more lasting damage than they ever realized. When you, as her partner, extend this unconditional acceptance, you actively begin to undo that accumulated damage, repairing the emotional scars. You communicate to her, without uttering a single word, that she is not too much or too little, that she is not flawed or imperfect. You affirm with every gesture of acceptance that she is, in every conceivable way, exactly right, exactly as she should be. Practically, this profound and active acceptance transforms intimacy into an experience that is truly joyful, delightfully playful, and utterly fear-free. The oppressive weight of performance anxiety dissipates entirely. There is no longer a need for hiding, for pretense, or for agonizing second-guessing. What remains are simply two people choosing each other fully, consciously, and passionately, again and again, in an endless dance of mutual adoration and respect. The most significant mistake men often make is the reductionist belief that intimacy is solely about mechanics, a specific position, a particular duration, or a perfected technique. While these elements possess their own minor significance, they are fundamentally secondary. In the profound reality of human connection, the most potent and enduring performance enhancer you will ever discover is the knowledge that your partner feels utterly and completely accepted, cherished, and safe in your presence. When she feels truly safe, profoundly desired and deeply valued for her authentic self, every other aspect of intimacy, both physical and emotional, will effortlessly fall into its rightful, beautiful place. So, with all this comprehensive information now at your disposal, what is the next logical step? How do you effectively integrate these profound truths into your daily life and translate them into tangible, life-altering change? Here is a straightforward 3-step action plan that you can begin implementing today, immediately after reflecting on these words. First, initiate the vital health conversation. This involves gently suggesting the idea of getting tested for STIs together. Frame this conversation not as an act of suspicion or mistrust, but rather as a proactive demonstration of partnership, mutual care, and shared responsibility. You are not accusing anyone of anything. You are simply articulating a desire to collaboratively safeguard your shared health, thereby enabling both of you to enjoy intimacy without the burden of worry or anxiety. As previously discussed, twice a year represents a healthy and responsible standard for sexually active adults. Strive to make this routine, normalize it within your relationship, and consciously approach it as a powerful and tangible act of love, reflecting your commitment to each other's well-being and longevity together. Second, cultivate the practice of paying keen attention, but without succumbing to judgment. If you discern a subtle change in scent, for instance, you might gently suggest taking a refreshing shower together. This should be offered not as a veiled criticism of her hygiene, but as an invitation for shared connection, a sensual act of togetherness. Encourage consistent hydration, perhaps by thoughtfully leaving a glass of water on her nightstand as a small gesture of care. Support her wholeheartedly in consulting with her doctor if she herself has noticed any changes or harbors any concerns. Approach these potential issues as a unified team, not as a problem that she is solely responsible for identifying and rectifying. Small, considerate gestures of care often carry far more weight and meaning than you might initially realize. Things like preparing a warm, inviting bath for her, offering a gentle massage, or simply making her feel seen and appreciated in non-sexual ways convey the powerful message, "I am here with you. We are in this together, and your well-being is my priority." Third, and perhaps most importantly, consciously practice acceptance every single day. This is the continuous daily work of love and mindfulness. Remind yourself actively and repeatedly that her individuality, her unique biological expressions, are not flaws or imperfections. Her natural fluids are not dirty, inconvenient, or something to be repulsed by. Instead, they are powerful, intrinsic signs of health, readiness, and profound trust. When you find yourself catching a fleeting judgmental thought, and such thoughts, born of societal conditioning, may still arise, pause deliberately. Take a conscious moment to ask yourself, is this particular thought helping or is it hurting our connection? Is it building bridges or erecting walls? Then, with intention and unwavering commitment, choose acceptance. Choose it consciously, choose it deliberately, and choose it lovingly. This daily practice will slowly but surely rewire your perceptions and deepen your capacity for true intimacy. I am keenly aware that for some of you, this topic might still evoke a sense of shyness or vulnerability, and that, my friends, is perfectly acceptable and entirely normal. This is indeed vulnerable territory, delving into deeply personal and often unaddressed aspects of human experience. But let me offer you profound reassurance. You are absolutely not alone in these feelings or these questions. Every man who walks through the doors of my clinic, without exception, eventually asks these very same questions. Every couple, whether they voice it or not, worries about these same intimate concerns. And when they finally gather the courage to talk about these issues with genuine honesty, profound care, and mutual respect, their intimacy doesn't merely survive, it unequivocally thrives, ascending to new heights of connection and joy. I have witnessed this beautiful transformation hundreds of times over, the palpable relief etched upon their faces when they realize their experiences are normal, not isolated anomalies. The renewed closeness, the tangible sense of profound liberation that washes over them when they cease hiding and begin truly connecting. Remember this indelible truth: safety does not extinguish romance. On the contrary, safety builds an unshakable foundation of trust, and it is this deep, abiding trust that allows passion to endure, flourish, and deepen for decades to come. You do not have to make a false choice between passionate spontaneity and vigilant health. You are entirely capable of embracing both in equal measure. You do not have to pretend that everything in your intimate life is perpetually perfect or beyond reproach. You can be profoundly honest, vulnerable, and transparent, and still remain deeply loving and deeply loved. You are not expected to possess all the answers to every intimate query. Your most vital role is simply to be willing to learn, to grow, and to explore together with your partner. So, gentlemen, here is the final, overarching takeaway, a message I hope resonates deeply within you. Passion, true, vibrant passion, does not retire. Your 60s, your 70s, and even your 80s have the remarkable potential to be your most connected, most confident, and most intimately fulfilling years, provided you are willing to bravely let go of shame, consciously embrace profound acceptance, and vigilantly care for your health together as a united front. Do not waste your precious resources, your time, or your hope on superficial gimmicks or potentially unsafe pills that promise miraculous instant solutions. The real miracle, the profound transformation you seek, is not some elusive external fix. It is right in front of you, residing within your own capacity for self-care, open communication, and unconditional love. Care deeply for your body. Engage in honest, empathetic dialogue with your partner, and embrace intimacy fully, without reservation, without fear, and with boundless joy. If this video has resonated with you, if it has sparked a new understanding or inspired a shift in perspective, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and consider sharing it with another man who could significantly benefit from this powerful reminder. And as always, I am eager to hear from you in the comments section. Where are you watching from, and what crucial topic would you like me to cover next in our journey towards better health and deeper connection? I'm Dr. Jocelyn, and always remember, even the smallest, most conscious changes have the profound power to bring immense freedom, comfort, and unwavering confidence back into every aspect of your life. Passion does not expire, and neither should your pursuit of profound, lifelong intimacy.